Hello. In this video I'm going to demonstrate a practical application for the Pattern Scripts plugin as it might be applied to the operation of a yard. And to do that I'm going to focus on these three trains which I've highlighted. And so to begin we'll build the first train. It's called the Easton Hauler. Build it, we'll preview it, and you can see it has three work events. The first one is at staging. It picks up the train from E1. The second work event is at city. It sets out the cars to track A1, the arrival track, and at train service it sets out the locomotive and caboose. So let's take a quick inventory. We'll take a look at track A1. You can see there's no cars in track A1. So click the move box. We'll move it out of staging and then we'll move it out of city. And we'll come here to set cars, and you can see the cars are now available. This is still a live train, it's still doing work, but the cars are now available for our use at track A1 in city. So let's go ahead and take a pattern on the yard and see how it's laid out. This is what we have in the yard. So there's some cars in north end. 706 is empty, so let's put the north end cars in 706. And either track 704 or 703 in this particular yard can be overloaded. Not both of them, but since I'm not going to build the Easton train for a while, I'm going to go ahead and overload 704. I'm going to put all these park cars in 704. So bear with me while I click like crazy here. You can also copy and paste it if you wanted to use the keyboard, and you can just tab between the tab between the boxes if you wanted to. And finally, it looks like I got one car in 701 for junction, so let's put the rest of the junction cars there. And this car at the bottom for valley is on the route for junction, so let's also put it in 701. We'll print up the switch list, hand it to your crew, and off they go. Of course, they're amazingly fast. So boom, they're done. You set the cars. Do a quick pattern. We don't need A1 anymore. Do a quick pattern, and there we go. You have the cars set where we told them to. I can notice at the bottom here that there are 45 cars that are scheduled to Northton, but the Northton track can only hold about 31 cars or so. So when we build that train, the JMRI algorithm is going to pick and choose which cars it wants and which cars it's going to leave behind, and I think that's based on move count, but I could be wrong. So let's say that you don't want, or you want particular cars to be on that train. So let's go. They're in 702, 2, 5, and 6. So let's look at a pattern here, and let's just look around, and I don't know, for sake of argument, let's say the flat cars. There's 4 flat cars. Let's make sure that no matter what, in this particular case, not every time, but in this particular case, those 4 flat cars have to be on the train. So let's hit the set cars button, and I have a track. It's right here. It's priority Northton, so it's a Northton priority track. So I will click that, and I will set this flat car into that track, and there are no flat cars here, and I'll set these 3 flat cars into the Northton priority track. Set. And then we can go ahead and build the train. And the way it's set up is that when you build the train, it goes to the priority track first, scoops up those, and then fills out the rest of the train. So we build it, preview it, and there they are. So these 4 cars from the Northern priority track are definitely on the train, and then the train is filled out to 31 cars, so it's filled out to its full size, and the balance is just made up from whatever the algorithm chose. So this plugin allows you to sort of step around the algorithm in some cases. If you want particular cars on a train or not on a train, you can do that using this plugin. So I built the train. Let's go ahead and terminate it. Yes. And now we'll move over to train service, and we'll look at the outbound Northton, do pattern on it, and there's the cars. There's those 4 flat cars. they're definitely on the train, and the cars are set into an outbound track for Northton. So now we can go ahead and depart the train. But let's say you want to do the opposite. Let's say in this case we'll look at the locomotives. Okay, these are the Northern line is electrified, so these are the locomotives that would be chosen. This is the pool, and the locomotives on the algorithm will pick certain locomotives from this pool to run on that train. But let's say that you want to hold out these F units. Let's say, I don't know, the President's Special is coming to town or some such thing, and you don't want those cars to be chosen, or those locomotives to be chosen for this train. So I have another track called service track, which is not served. It's set up, it's turned off, so it can't be served by any train. So I can go ahead and set these locomotives to the track called service track, set them, and go ahead and build the or depart the train to Northton. We'll preview it, and yeah, you can see it picked these other two locomotives and this caboose. So pick up all those cars at train service and take them to Northton and set them out. So you can use this in a yard. You can use this plugin in a yard to bypass, to step around the algorithm. You can use it to pick and choose which cars you want to go where. So thank you for watching this video.